Today on the channel, G.I. Joe Classified Series number 38, Croc Master and Fiona.
The way I got it figured.
Alright guys, way I got it figured, and the sheriff back with another review, this time on G.I. Joe Classified Series, Croc Master and Fiona, number 38 in the series. Long awaited figure, even longer awaited to open out of the box. I got this guy when he came out from Hasbro Pulse. I've seen many copies in Walmart. I'm sure a lot of you have picked them up from Walmart. He was always going to get a review, but of course, with me having sort of a backlog of stuff, I had to burn through a lot of Transformers things, and I'll be getting back to Transformers, of course. That's my stock in trade, so to speak. But I was going to be remiss not to review this guy, Croc Master. So Croc Master originally appeared in 1987's G.I. Joe lineup. He was never on any of the animations, Sunbow or Deke, neither one of them. But he did appear in the Marvel Comics G.I. Joe series written by Larry Hama. Around the 70s, he was the security director, so to speak, for Cobra Island. Always was a cool figure, and this is definitely a pretty much updated take on that same 1987 figure. But we're going to get into the box just a little bit here, and we'll get into Croc Master. So very cool, all the stuff you get with them, as with most G.I. Joe Classifieds. And of course, here's your artwork of Croc Master and Fiona. On this side, you have his file card, and of course the back of the box with the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow-esque centric packaging, showing just about every figure to date. Alright, so we're going to get Croc Master out and take an in-depth look. Alright, so here's Croc Master out of the package with all of his accessories arrayed. We're going to go through those really quickly. Most of his accessories are an approximation of what he came with the 1987 figure, with a couple of additions. So starting off, he has a whip, which he did come with the 1987 figure. A leash with a collar, which he also came with in 1987. And everything else is pretty much new. Well, besides the alligator, the crocodile. So starting with his additional accessories, of course, there is the albino baby crocodile and the regular crocodile. And they all have paint apps. That's kind of cool. The teeth are painted, the eyes are painted. It's pretty cool. So here's a close-up of the albino crocodile. And Croc Master fell over, as you can see. And I'm going to discuss that. You better believe it. And here's the baby crocodile. Eyes are painted yellow. It's very small, but it's there. Lots of detail there. The knife, which is a new free-floating accessory, but the figure from 1987 has it molded on. And the revolver pistol also molded on to the 1987 figure. So we're gonna give these half points. And then of course, the meat hook slash jaw opener, which he didn't come with in 1987. That's a new accessory. Now, Croc Master himself doesn't stand up the best. I'm gonna say this is the poorest freestanding G.I. Joe classified figure I've gotten to date. You can probably kind of see the issue here. His feet are weirdly curved, and so it does not help the case of supporting the figure as much as you might need. He can stand up, he can, but it takes, you know, more work than you want to stand up, you know, a figure that, you know, pretty much you still bought for $40. I mean, it wouldn't matter if he was a regular classified figure or a $40 classified figure. You know, you want your figures to stand. So it's difficult to get him to stand. I mean, I had him standing. I'm sure I could get him standing again, but it's just more work than you want, right? I don't want to sound lazy, but you know, a lot of it really is the shoes, the way they're shaped. The whole foot's not on the ground, and so it's not allowing you to support the figure. That is a little bit more of a top-heavy figure because of his large arms and upper chest, because he's a big muscle guy, right? Also, you know, as far as accessories, this comes off, as you can see. And the figure did have a hose that connected from the mask to a little shoulder pinion on the 1987 figure. Otherwise, I mean, he's pretty much dead on identical to a Real American Hero version, of which there's only the 1987 version of the figure. I mean, before 25th anniversary, they did do a 25th anniversary version of Croc Master. So, yeah. He looks great. He just doesn't stand great. Now, of course, I just stood him up. He's going to stand perfectly, just to make me look like an idiot in my own video. But he is cool, and it's not he's not terrible, but getting him to stand might be an issue. Okay, for many, the box says Croc Master and Fiona, but the star of the show is definitely gonna be Fiona, and it's not hard to see why. This thing is amazing. Much like Snake Eyes and Timber, Alpha Commandos, Fiona is a beautiful toy. I mean, it's well articulated. The paint apps are just spectacular. It's got this nice hinged jaw. There's just not much bad I can say about this figure. It's pretty cool. You got wrist articulation. I mean, it's, you know, wrist articulation on a crocodile. It's great. The tail is articulated, and it's on a metal, kind of a metal pin, or not a pin, but like a metal rod, in a sense that the twist. You can do various things with the tail. It's like a 2-3 stage abdomen. I mean, it's got ab crunch in a sense, right? So yeah, it's It's pretty cool, man. They've been knocking it out the park with the animals for sure. And I really think that Fiona is so far the best of the bunch to date. So, you know, if you just need a toy alligator, toy crocodile, well, buy a Croc Master. You will not be disappointed. That's Fiona. So we're gonna get Croc Master accessorized. Looking like his real American hero self. I'm gonna show the file card for the original version of Croc Master, but I pretty much know it by heart. He set up a series of canals, shallow canals, stocked with like man-eating crocodiles, and he himself was like something like an alligator wrestler or something. And also, he was an alarm salesman, so he put the two things together to create Guard Gators Inc. Larry Hama was just a comedian. Part of Larry Hama's job was to be a comedian. I am convinced. And wow, this whip is really thick. He doesn't really want to hold it. You know, I'm gonna get it, guys. But it is not easy. His hands are really tight plastic. It's not cheap, and that's good. We don't want cheap. We do want it to hold its accessories. There we go. Got it. It only took a whole minute. And you got his meat hook, which of course is gonna be just as difficult. So I'm gonna go with putting Fiona on the leash. You can only do one or the other. And I imagine Fiona is his favorite. There you go. He stands up a little better if he's holding Fiona on her leash. And I tried to put the leash on underneath the head, which does come off, but it's just not that big. Like, it's the only way you really can put it on here is like this, which isn't, you know, in my opinion, the 100% best way to display it, but it does work. So Croc Master is holding his leash and his whip. You got your little two baby alligators. Of course, you got his meat hook, which I guess you could swap out for the whip. Of course, he's just gonna go forward. And Fiona's got her mouth open. And there you go. Yeah, so Croc Master didn't really do much in the comic. I mentioned where he came from, where he, you know, kind of where he appeared in fiction. He actually came came to an ignominious end when he was trapped inside a landlocked freighter along with several other enemies of Cobra Commander. And it was really just sort of a wrong place, wrong time thing for him. Cobra Commander locked him, Dr. Mindbender, Zartan, his son Billy, Raptor, Captain Min, who was living on Cobra Island because the Fred 7 Cobra Commander blew up his boat. Serpentor's body that was in ice. Cobra Commander locked them in the landlocked freighter and exploded the Cobra volcano on Cobra Island on them so they couldn't get out. And while some people did escape, Croc Master was not one of them that was ever seen again. So yeah, you know, a lot of characters were foisted on Lord Larry Hama, and so he didn't necessarily treat him the best. But he made it into the comic, and considering there were things he refused to put in the comic, I'd say even that is pretty good. Okay, final thoughts. Croc Master and Fiona look great. Have all the standard articulation of a G.I. Joe classified figure, but Croc Master has to unfortunately take a hit because he doesn't stand up that well. I don't think it comes down to the copy that I have. I think it's really just the way they designed his feet, which is it's just not the best. But if you're displaying him with Fiona, he stands up just fine because he's holding on to a leash. So, you know, that works. I'm going to give him an 8. It's definitely a well-anticipated figure. I'd love to give him a 9, but the feet thing is just kind of getting to me. So, with that, I'm going to sign off. Hopefully you enjoy the content. If you do, please give me a like, subscribe, and comment. Especially comment. I love the feedback and even criticism of how I do this, and maybe things you'd like to see are welcome. All right, guys, this is it for me on this review of Way I Got It Figured. I will see you guys on the next video.